What's up YouTube, Pizzscn here. In this video I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm actually going to be cleaning out the screen of my iMac. Alright? I believe I mentioned this in my first iMac update video, but I believe somebody has been inside of this computer, or at least has removed the front glass, because, well, there are apparent signs of that being the case. There's bits of dirt and debris under there. There's even a fingerprint right about there. You'll see it in a minute here, that I can't wipe away. So I'm going to show you how dirty it is by opening a white screen like text edit. Just make it a little bigger. I'm going to zoom in on it. Alright, so that is the cursor, but if you look right there, you can see those little specks. There's a good one right there, which you can see. If I try and wipe it away, I don't even feel it. I'm using my right hand to do that. I should really be using my left hand. I can't even feel it. There's another one right there. And I mean, they are subtle enough that you don't exactly pay attention to them, but sometimes I just can't help but notice them. And so I'd like to go ahead and just get this part of the repair, I guess, done. There's another good one right there. That is not on the glass, it's under the glass. So yeah, I'd like to go ahead and get that taken care of. Alright, so I should mention real quickly, I don't really know if you would want to use this video as an instructional video. In fact, I would highly encourage you to watch this video through once, and then if you think that it is actually good enough to follow, then you can watch it again and actually follow along with it, should you want to do something like this. But I'm not trying to make it anyway, I cannot guarantee you that this will be like, absolute step-by-step instructions on how to do this, although it's pretty simple. It is pretty easy to do. It's just you gotta obviously have the right tools. So I will at least show you though what I am going to be using to do this. One of the things I'm actually going to be using is this pencil sharpener here. Now you might be wondering why. Well, it's because of this little feature on the back, on its base. If I pull this up, you can see right now it moves freely. But if I lift this up and fold that back, it is completely fixed. You can hear everything sort of shaking. The Mac is tilting a little. So I can't even lift it, but if I flip this back, I can pull it up. So I'm going to be using that suction cup on the bottom. I've also got some compressed air and a shirt that I'm going to be using as a makeshift cloth. Sure, let's go ahead and do this. Now obviously the first thing you want to do, some people don't even do this, alright? In fact, I've seen some videos on how to do this that are just so friggin' sad. I frankly don't understand why they even own a computer. And a lot of people don't even bother to turn the computer off. I just think that's probably a good idea. So go ahead and go to the Apple menu and turn your computer off. We're going to go to shutdown and wait for it to turn off. Now, alright, so it's turned off. Go ahead and unplug it, which I will do. Whoops. So there we go. It's been unplugged. There's the cable there. So after you make sure you've unplugged it, unplug the computer from the power, from the wall, and after you make sure you've unplugged all like flash drives and little wireless receivers and whatever from the back, you want to go ahead and lay it on its back. I don't know why I'm out of breath, but it is a pretty heavy computer, so there you go. Alright, now it is time to begin cleaning the inside. Alright, so first things first, we need to take the front panel off. This might seem a little bit scary to some people. You gotta be careful though. Just as long as you're careful, and this is my first time doing this, so I am going to be careful. And if I think that if I decide that I don't want to do this, then I simply won't do it. So if you think that something could go seriously wrong here, don't do it. All right? If you start thinking, I think this glass is going to crack while you're working on it, stop. Okay? This is an expensive piece of machinery, so anyway. And if you're going to be using a suction cup that uses an arm like this, when it's time to take the suction cup off of the screen when it's all said and done, make sure you use your hand to do this. This thing sometimes has a tendency to slam down, and you wouldn't want that slamming on the glass. I would hate to see it get cracked. So, let's go ahead and get this over with. Here we go. If you only have one suction cup like I do, try and do this. You want to do this sort of in the middle. Now, I should also mention this is held on by magnets, so you're not going to damage anything. You're not going to ruin any glue bonds. But if you're using one suction cup, if you're using two suction cups, you want to put one here and one here. I've heard those are the easiest spots. But if you're using one suction cup, just put it in the middle. And hear that? You got to be careful with this arm. Lift it up. Like so. That came right up. I was actually amazed at how easy that was. Alright, now, I'm going to gently set this down. Upside down. Now you can see the screen here. It is a little dirty. So if I shine this flashlight on it, you see that little spot right there? Those are fingerprints. There's a fingerprint there. Just look at all those little bits of, that looks like dog hair and pet fur. There's bits of crap everywhere. And on the screen, on the actual glass panel, I'm sure it's the same story, although it is a little harder to see. Alright, first thing you want to do is wipe it down. Alright, go ahead and get this done first, because if you go ahead and blow compressed air on it first, well, then when you wipe it down, you'll have to blow more compressed air on it. So, just take it, just go ahead and wipe it. In fact, I might need to dampen this a little bit. In fact, I think I will. So, if you need to dampen your cloth or whatever, dampen it slightly, alright? After all, you are dealing with an electronic here, so you don't want to do too much to it. So, let's just go ahead. I went ahead, dampened it a little bit. Remember, a little bit. Don't want to dampen it too much. Get it all cleaned up. Go ahead and take a dry spot. Give it a good drying off. I just realized for blowing compressed air on it, I do actually want to stand this up on its pedestal again, so I might actually need to wipe this down a little bit more should I accidentally put fingerprints on it, but just give it a drying off. That looks a lot better. Alright, so I'm actually going to set this on the cardboard, because now I'd like to go ahead and stand this puppy back up. Alright, after, of course, I'm actually going to set this thing off to the side a little, because now it's time to do the glass. So, alright, this arm here, that's the pencil sharpening mechanism. I'm not worried about that thing. Alright, let's see, can I make these screws, or not screws, but yeah, you can, well, I don't know if those are on the underside or not, but there are, in fact, some fingerprints on there. It's just going to be a little harder to see because some of it's on the underside, so there's still a little damp on here. I think it's good enough. Be careful doing this. Don't apply too much pressure. After all, it is, glass, so might want to use your hand on the other side so you can have a more solid surface to wipe on. Now you can use a little more pressure. There's the part number right there. I didn't see that. Maybe that is that a manufacturing date? No, it's not. Might not want to wipe that off. So I'm pretty sure it might be like Sharpie or something. So I don't think we have to worry there. Use the dry spots to dry it off, because I'm pretty sure these other fingerprints I'm seeing under here must be for on the other side. Alright, so whoa, let's set that down. Let's bring the iMac in place. Alright, is that in frame for you guys? Alright, so there's the iMac. All I'm going to do, and you really want to make sure you have it standing if you have a brand new can of compressed air. I got this yesterday, so I want to make sure it's standing. But go ahead and first spray off to the side and blow off any dust. I'm going to do that back here. I'm going to lift this screen up. Alright. And now comes the exciting part, reattaching it. Now, like I said, this is attached to the iMac itself with magnets. Just kind of give everything a one more once over. This thing's really cold. Alright, and line up the magnet hole, line up the magnets, and it clicks in. Okay, at this point, carefully remove your suction cup, which you guys, is that in frame for you guys? Yeah, alright, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to guide this all the way along with my fingers. There. And I'm just going to pull it off. Did leave behind a footprint. Now I want to clean out the offside. So I'm going to go and dampen this a little bit more. No, do that. It's probably better that you use maybe slightly warm water. This is actually cold water. So I might wipe this off again. Some more water. That footprint is being stubborn. So, I mean, like, this is actually, it looks really intimidating. You're taking this glass off. But I have to say, I was amazed at how easily it came off. That, you know, I feel 110% comfortable in removing this now. Because it just popped right off. I honestly was thinking, alright, I'm going to be struggling a little bit. The glass is going to be bowing. And, you know, the way that I thought that those little, you know, if you weren't exactly paying full attention, the magnets, I don't know if the magnets are on the glass or in the computer itself, but they're these little, I guess I'll just say posts that fit into little holes on the computer. So I was thinking, and the posts, the little poles are on the glass, alright, if you didn't see that. So I was thinking, as I'm pulling this, as it's bowing, those are going to squeeze more on it, but no, actually, it wasn't a problem at all. You saw it just popped right off. It did take effort, but it took minimal effort, a lot less than I thought, so there you go. I should also mention, I meant to mention this before, this is a 2008 model iMac. You can see maybe it has that aluminum bezel around it. this will work with any aluminum iMac, be it 21.5 inch, 24 inch like this one is, or even the 27 inch ones. It doesn't matter. And this is as of July 6, 2011. It might, Apple might one day decide to use adhesive on the glass panel. So make sure you do your research if you're watching this like near 2013 or whatever. Maybe the iMacs from then will have a different method of bonding. Maybe they'll do what they're doing with the iPhones and actually bond the screen to the glass itself with some glue, and that would cause issues. That would actually be a bad idea, Apple. Please don't do that. That would actually be... The screen is actually beautiful the way it is. Don't do that. Anyhow, I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I'm going to take a dry spot, and I'm going to wipe it off. There's still some outer fingerprints. There might be one or two fingerprints that I did not quite get to. Most likely those are on the glass, and that footprint from the suction cup is stuck. It actually will not come off. So I might take some warm water here in a little bit and get that, but just want to give it a good wipe, and you should be all set. So let me see what I can do about that footprint, and we'll try this, and I'll be back. Alright, so here it is, all set back up. Everything's plugged in, including the mouse. iMac's plugged in. I can tell you just from sitting right here, it looks a lot better. When I had finished wiping down the screen with that warm water, I could just tell it had a big difference. There are still some little fingerprints here and there. There is actually a new little thing going on in there. I don't know if it just managed to slip in there or not, but there is something right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's right about there that has appeared. It actually looks like a scratch. I hope that's not what it is. It might just be something that managed to slip in when I was replacing the glass, so. But let's go ahead and boot this thing up, and I'll see what it looks like. So, I'm going to have to boot in safe mode, but you can already... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. There is a good thing. Look, yeah, that looks like a scratch. I hope that's not what that is. Actually, it is. I can feel it from outside. But it's just one little scratch. I don't know if that was there when I originally got the computer or not. I don't think it was, but... Oh, well. Things just happen. So, anyway. But you can see there's little bits and pieces right there. That one there, I might need to actually go back in and take out, because that will bug me. I don't know if that's a new thing or what. But yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, a little guy. But you know what? I got this computer. I don't know if I really want to tell you how much I paid for this computer. Let's just say it was practically given to me. So I don't think that's going to bother me too much. I'm still pretty happy with it for the price I got it at. Even though it may have that scratch there, which might be my fault. If it is, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, guys. It's just a little ding. As long as that's the only one, I'll be fine. So, yeah, there is just that little blob right there. I might pop the screen back off and just blast a little bit of air in there. But anyway, here it is booting up. Everything is working great. Just had to log in there. Menu bar. That. So now all that's left to do is get this thing repaired, and heck, I can start using it. As if I'm not using it right now, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Adios.